So, good afternoon. I love the meme of unusual, not extreme or crazy, but just, unusual. It's very polite. I'm going to basically give you an up to 10-minute ad for why at least some of you should come talk with me later on. And I want to put it in context. I had my wisdom teeth taken out on Friday, 3 of them. So why did I do that? The dentist, who, by the way, is not the one who did it, so at least that doesn't seem to be total self-interest. I'm trying to get away from the echo. The dentist said, you really should get this done because it's going to be even worse when you're 80. And whatever, I believed him, and I went and did it, and it was amazingly not bad, all things considered. And so I'm investing in not having to go through this when I'm 80, when it might not be as pleasant. Just for the record, I took Vicodin I took 5 of them over half a day. I got nauseous twice. I can't imagine getting addicted to this stuff. And anything you don't like about my talk is due to the aspirin or the teeth or something like that. But why am I doing what I did? Originally I was a journalist, a fact checker, a very detail-oriented person who, all you need to do to make a conference work is have the badges be large enough so people can read your name, and then the content will take care of itself. Then became a tech investor and started looking at healthcare, got more and more frustrated with people's answers to pressing social problems such as Uber for shoe shines, which I swear I got pitched on 2 weeks ago. And was looking at healthcare, met Jordan Schlane, among many other people, Maggie Carey. But I also was on Wall Street for 5 years, and I could not figure out why we're spending so much money on repair after the fact when we could be getting a much bigger return on investing in health right now. So we don't need the stupid care. The problem isn't the cost of care, it's the need for it in the first place. And I had sold my business. I was doing angel investing and fending off people with shoe shines and things like that. And I was about to give a talk about how somebody should actually try an experiment, just find 5 places and make them healthy and prove this. And I realized somebody else should do something, not really a very compelling talk, even if the badges are right. So I announced that I would do that. That was 2 years ago. And fast forward, we now have 5 communities. I hired a CEO, which every good philanthropist should do in order to make their efforts actually work. Our CEO changed our name from HICCUP, which stands for Health Initiative Coordinating Council, which was accurate, to The Way to Wellville, which is much more compelling. And we put out a call for applications using, my CEO came from Cigna, he knows a lot of people. I know Maggie Carey, who knows everybody. We got the word out. We got 42 applications from little communities who were remote, with fewer than 100,000 people, and with an existing coalition of local stakeholders who wanted to become healthy. In other words, it wasn't a nice white lady who's going to come from New York and tell you how to live, but if you want to become healthier as a community, we're here to help you. We've got good connections. We come from the business world, so we understand things like accountability and taking risk and all this. We'd love to help, so please apply. We looked through the 42, picked 10 to visit last summer, which is probably the most educational summer I've ever spent. And now we have 5 places: Spartanburg, South Carolina, Muskegon, Michigan, Niagara Falls, New York, Clatsop County, Oregon, and Lake County, California, which is where the worst of the fires just were. So anybody from any of those places? Wow. Well, some of you probably at least have been close to Lake County. And we're now in the middle of trying to figure out what this actually means. You could do 20 things in each of these places, like diabetes treatment, mental health support, anti-obesity, prenatal care, dental care, smoking cessation, elder care, improved transportation so people can both get to their food and get to their care. And if you did 20 of them, none of them would really happen. You could do one and there would be no complementary self-reinforcing effect. So we're working with each community, courtesy of Robert Wood Johnson, which is funding an outfit called Rethink Health, to kind of do a business plan for each of the communities about what they'll be doing. Our big challenges are, one, probably the biggest problem is food. And ultimately, the purpose of this whole exercise is not to help 5 small places get healthier. It's to show what it looks like when they do, so that people will say, if those jokers in Spartanburg could do it, so can we. And also to show that it actually does reduce the healthcare costs in the community, improves high school graduation rates, raises housing values, has whole lots of knock-on effects. We all kind of know this. And this is why it's not an experiment and it's not a random controlled trial. But at the same time, it is unusual. People aren't doing this. And it takes kind of force of will. It takes community buy-in, not of everybody, but of enough people. And ultimately, it's going to take some businesses that see a way to make a profit, because that's what businesses should do to be sustainable. Some of them will do that on the basis of pay for success investments, where you get paid money if you reduce some entities' healthcare costs. Some, we hope, will do it by figuring out how to market healthy food. And that's where we're also looking for partners, food companies who either out of sheer brilliance and an understanding where the future is heading, or out of terror that sugar is going to be taxed, whatever. We have the greatest test markets in the world because we're going to help you do this, and we're also going to be collecting data up the wazoo. How am I doing for time? About done, or? Okay. So there's lots more to tell you, but also I'd love to talk to people who are interested in figuring out how to be part of this, because it's the most exciting thing I've ever done, and I've trained to be a cosmonaut. I've worked on Wall Street. I've done all kinds of cool things. I've met Bill Gates, but this is really the best. So thank you very much.